Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy. Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy. He said, pray as you see me pray. Utter these words that you hear me say. Based on the Sunnah, worship him, just follow him.
Assalamu alaikum. New class coming to you every Monday and Wednesday, taught by Ustad Layla Nashiba, the fiqh of prayer. Every Monday and Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Inshallah, we'll see you there. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
The Murjiah Tafsir.
Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end? Pursuing the higher aim, learning the meaning of every page. Ooh, where should I begin when I'm starting at the end?
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers presents a new class, the Murjiah of Tafsir, being taught and brought to you by Ustad Layla Nashiba. Please stay tuned, streaming on all major platforms, right here on Channel Sunnahfollowers.
Know your Lord. We learn about his names and his attributes. Know your Lord. What he approves and disapproves. Know your Lord. Believe in all things that he has brought forth. Know his oneness, Lord.
Know Your Lord, part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, right here on Sunnahfollowers. Being taught by Ustad Layla Nashiba as she lays down the foundations to get you together. Learn about your Lord. Know your Lord. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
Any
you
scores!
Dang.
Wait, is that the Adhan?
I think so, inshallah.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Gotta pray.
yeah, we do
Aight,
gotta pray.
aight.
We gotta pray. Let's get that in
Yes, sir.
ASAP.
Ha ha!
I don't know
Allahu
what it is,
Akbar.
but what? I've been listening to this program,
Yeah.
Sunnahfollowers, and I've been learning a lot, Aki. Man, a lot.
Mashallah. Yeah, like what? What you been learning about?
Man, I've been learning about a lot. Salah, hadith, the life of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man.
Wow, for real though.
And you know another thing? The shows just keep come on
Alright.
back to
Alright,
back to back.
alhamdulillah. I just gotta check them out.
For real though,
Yo.
wow. My guy, if you have any questions, check this out. Every Friday you can call in Sister Layla live. Call her with any one of your questions in regards to this deen, and man, she will answer them. She will get you right. Anyway, inshallah, I'm about to tune into that. But you know something else? If this is going to
What?
be a benefit to
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
I got to get with that
Sadaqah
Jariyah. All right. Donate to Sunnahfollowers.net. We're here for you. Sadaqah Jariyah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Hot topic for this upcoming Ask Sister Layla live show this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Ustada Layla Nashiba, she will be addressing the older men chasing younger women to marry to feel young again. Walis and imams seeking new shahadas to marry to complete half their deen and more. You're not going to want to miss this show. Streaming on all major platforms. See you there, inshallah. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Oh yeah, and don't forget to join us in the 24-hour Zoom room for behind-the-scenes access. Assalamu alaikum. Get to know your Lord. First part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid. This dynamic literary work of art's main goal is to revive an understanding the names and attributes of Allah. And understanding the name and attributes of Allah will elevate our faith, strengthen us, and keep us steadfast. This wonderful book is now available in an audiobook format and can be found free of charge on YouTube, channel Karim Abu Zaid. Get to know your Lord. You have nothing to lose.
Guys, I'm sorry. Someone was knocking at my door. I had to delivery. All right, let me make sure I got everything together here. Oh, just got my. Wait, let me let them know I got the delivery. What's this message? Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, here we go. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our series, our Akida class. This is the class where we addressed what true belief is. And as you guys can see, there's so many calamities happening to us as a nation today. Oh my gosh, it's all, you turn on the news, it's all over the place. Of course, you got what's going on in the East with, the war against Islam. And then here in the other non-Arabic countries, we have our own fitna. Allah is really sending it to the Muslims here in America, the Muslims in Australia, the Muslims in the UK. I mean, it's just so much calamity, so much trial, so much strife. And it makes us wonder, are the people getting the message? I mean, are we listening to what Allah is trying to say to us? When you hear about Muslims being executed who were innocent of crimes, then you hear about other Muslims who can't handle life and just go on a rampage and kill themselves and kill their wives and children and family. This is happening here in America. Muslims doing crazy things like this. You want to commit murder against your own family and children because you can't handle the qadr of Allah. You can't handle divorce or whatever. Boy, these are the times that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us of. He said, whenever we deviate away from the traditional Islam, from practicing traditional Islam, when we become so caught up in the dunya, the life of this world, when we are so much imitating the non-believers, that's when murder will increase. And when the Prophet talked about murder, he wasn't talking about murder amongst the Kafirs. He was talking about us. He said, because the companions asked, will we be outnumbered? He said, no. Will our enemy be trying to kill us? The Prophet said, no. He said, we will kill each other. We will kill husbands killing wives, mothers killing their children, children killing their parents. You're killing at the mosque. You're upset. You're arguing at the masjids, and we're shooting each other, killing each other in the masjids. And it's just horrible. When you learn about your religion and you live to see Allah's signs. Remember, we talked about this, how Allah sends signs to us, the signs for the believers. It's time to wake up. I mean, it makes you say, hey, it's time for us to wake up. We have to change ourselves. We're doing something wrong here. We're not like those companions. Our belief system isn't as strong as we say it is. We can't handle divorce. Because your wife divorces you, you're going to go kill her and kill all your children too. You can't handle divorce. You can't handle losing your job. So because you got laid off from your job, you want to go to the mosque and shoot the mosque up. Oh yeah, that happened too. Somebody got laid off from his job, so he went to the mosque and just started shooting inside the mosque. Just had a breakdown. Crazy. We can't handle what's happening with the war. So what are we doing? We're calling each other. We're killing each other with our tongues. We're killing each other with our tongues because you see me drinking a Starbucks. Even though there's nothing in Islam that says I can't drink Starbucks. I'm a kafir, so you killed me. Bang, kill her. Bam, she's a Zionist. Bam. We are just messed up as a nation. It's sad. This is a sad day for me as a Daya. It's sad. So what do we do in these times? We have to do what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to do. If you live to see the calamities, the murders, the wars, the homosexuality, the taking of intoxicants, making lawful marijuana, which we got these fatwas out here saying it's lawful to do marijuana now, making drugs and prostitution. Oh yeah, there's another fatwa. I was looking at, somebody sent me a couple weeks ago. Oh, a woman can prostitute. A woman can do phone sex. Remember that? If you don't have no way, you can go and be a phone sex person to earn money for your children. That's prostitution. Who said that? That's not lawful in Islam. And there's always other ways to earn money, like door dashing, like Instacarting. You can door dash on your bike. You can ride a bike and door dash. But we got brothers putting out fatwas telling Muslim women that they can prostitute themselves. Who said that? Who did that? Did any of those female companions ever prostitute themselves? And they were losing their husbands and sons every day. Did they ever resort to prostitution? Allah will always find a way for us. If you trust in him, if you believe in him, Allah will move mountains for you. Allah will cause miracles to happen and from sources you never imagined if you just trust in him. But Muslims today, we don't believe in him. Not properly. And we definitely don't trust in him. We're too fearful and trusting of the non-Muslims. We don't obey Allah. Allah commands those of us who are sick. How many Muslim women have had hysterectomies? Let's just keep it real. Let me address you, sisters. How many of you had to have a hysterectomy because you didn't go to the doctor to get checked out when your menses was bleeding heavy? You sat there and let some man on the internet tell you that you had istihada when that's not istihada. When Allah commands us women and men to take care of our bodies. So how many Muslim women had to have hysterectomies because they had cancer of the uterus, cancer of the cervix, cancer of the ovaries because they never went to get pap tests? How many of you sisters don't believe in medicine? How many of you sisters don't go to the doctor at least once a year to get a pap test? Any woman who's having sexual relations needs to go get a pap test at least once a year. And even if you're not having sexual relations, because a lot of these diseases are inherited. And we've done a lot of intermarrying. The cousins and stuff. So we don't obey Allah. We don't take care of our bodies. We don't go to doctors. We don't take medicine because we fear the non-Muslims. We fear the Caucasian people. We think that the Caucasians have a conspiracy against Muslims. The Zionists have a conspiracy against Muslims, and they're gonna plant diseases and bombs inside your body. So you don't take medicine. You don't go to the doctor. You fear the man instead of listening to Allah, trusting him. So this is why Allah is sending all these calamities to us. And I'm just here to let y'all know it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. It's just depressing. Well, when you know the truth, when you don't suffer from conjecture. A lot of us suffer with conjecture. A lot of us suffer with doubt. A lot of us are deluded. But when you're not deluded in your faith, when you're not suffering with conjecture, when you're not questioning why, you see the signs around you and you're like, OMG. Oh, it's depressing. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam suffered with anxiety. Did y'all know that? All the prophets did. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to worry all the time. He used to worry about what's going to happen to his wives when he was gone. He used to worry about us. What his followers who he have yet to meet. This was his biggest worry. When Allah revealed to the prophet what would happen to the later generations, the war, the diseases, the abandon of the Sunnah, and all of that, how you search throughout the land and only find a handful of true believers. The prophet used to worry. He had a lot of anxiety, just like Moses did, just like Abraham did. All the prophets had anxiety, SubhanAllah. It's just part of being human to worry when you're in a position of authority. If he were living today to see how we are, boy, he wouldn't worry no more. He'd probably do like Noah. He'd say, oh, Allah, just destroy them all. Like Noah did. Noah said, oh my God, this is just pathetic. And that's how I feel. We're just messed up. I'm not saying for Allah to destroy us. I don't want that. But make dua. And I'm sure the prophet would too. He wouldn't say, oh, Allah destroy us. But he would think that probably would go through his mind for a second. Then he'd probably make dua for us. He'd say, oh, Allah, help them, guide them to the truth. And that's all we can do is die, make dua, asking Allah to guide the Muslims back to the truth, to the traditional Islam, guide us back to being strong in our faith and our belief like those companions were, keep us from falling in the heels of the kafir, and keep us from fighting like them and thinking like them. Like I said the other day, we fight like kafirs. How do we fight? We protest. And we boycott. Is that the Islamic way to fight? Did the Prophet and the companions do that? No, that's what the Kafirs do. The Romans and Greeks always boycotted and protested against the qadr of Allah. That's just part of their MO. They did that, and they also created a democracy. That's the Kafir way. Muslims today, we're too much like them. You know, we're busy protesting the qadr of Allah. We're boycotting the good things that Allah put here on earth for us. We're fighting like non-Muslims. We need to get back and fight like a real Muslim. How did the companions fight? They didn't fight with that garbage. They fought with their faith. They fought with their faith. They made dua, asking Allah to keep them strong, to keep them straight, to not allow them to succumb to this dunya and to their fears and to their desires. And they fought with their actions by not transgressing Allah's limits. They didn't call each other kafir. They didn't fight with each other and kill each other and slay each other, verbally or physically, like that. Yeah, until we turn back to being like those companions, well, it's not going to change, because the Prophet said it's just going to keep getting worse, because we're at that, we're now at the part of the war against Islam. And like the Prophet said, it's going to spread all over. It's already spreading. It started spreading in the 80s with the Bush, the 90s, and it's just making its way. You can't change the qadr of Allah. You can't stop it. Like Allah says, if all the creation were to come together to stop what he has willed to be, you wouldn't be able to lift a finger. So, but what we can do is what Allah said, change the condition of ourselves. What we can do is fall back, like our Prophet ﷺ said, fall back on your iman, fall back on your aqidah, your belief system. Are you a deviant? Instead of calling other people deviants, check yourself. Are you a deviant? Are you upon Siratul Mustaqim? Are you? That's what we're going to talk about today. We've talking about how faith, how our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that faith increases and faith decreases. Okay, it goes up and down, up and down. It's like a pot of boiling water. If you're in a good mood, for some people, when times are good, their faith decreases. Can y'all believe that? There are people out there who do better when they're faced with hardships. That's how I am. I'll admit it. Anybody that knows me on a personal level, they know that when times are hard, my faith gets stronger. That's just me. When times are easy, I become a little bit lazy and negligent. So we're different. You have to know yourself. Okay, know yourself and learn how to balance that iman. Balance your faith. You don't want your faith to get too low. You need to recognize the signs of weakness, what the triggers are to trigger your iman to go down. And when you recognize that sign is there or trigger is there, do what it takes to balance it out. This is jihad and nafs. This is the struggle against ourselves that we're constantly engaging in. A lot of Muslims today don't know how to strike the balance. That's why we're killing each other, committing suicide, killing our children, all this dumb stuff. So this class is important. And before I continue today's lecture, which is going to talk about how even though the Prophet taught us about faith, how it changes, and how whatever's in your heart is going to show through your actions, and how Allah says just because we say we believe with the tongue is not enough. We have to prove it through our actions. Believe it or not, we have a lot of deviant groups today. Right here, some of you here in this room may belong to one and don't even know it. You may question what Allah has said about faith. And we're going to talk about these groups today. And it's not to call anyone out. I want you guys to listen to what we're going to say about these groups and ask yourself, am I in this group? Am I one of these people? Do I believe this? Is this the way I believe? And if you see that you're in one of those deviant groups, that your belief is tainted, make the change. Make the change. Make the change. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And again, I know the sisters, I got some new, by the way, before I start, let me do this. I have, please, for those of you, join our Reddit. I have a Reddit channel too. And it's called Sunnahfollowers on Reddit. You know, just type Sunnahfollowers. And my name on Reddit is called Protectors of the Sunnah. That's what it's called. The group is called Protectors of the Sunnah, and my name is a silly name on there. They gave me some name called something, calm somebody. I don't know. Just type Protectors of the Sunnah and try to join that Reddit group that we have. It has Sunnahfollowers online on there and all that. And I have some new shahadas who are following me from Reddit because a couple of brothers from overseas, from the Emirates, have shared me and my channel on Reddit to the new shahadas because their English's not too good. These brothers are Arabic and they sent them to me because my English, you know. So I want to welcome Brother Mike. Okay. Sister Amy. They're all logged in here. And also, I can't read those names. Y'all got some funny names, but I want to welcome all my little new shahadas from the new Reddit group here to the class. And I want y'all to know that if there's any questions you have about what I'm teaching, please ask and please order the book. This is the book that we're studying from in this class. It's called Know Your Lord. You guys know Kareem Abu Zayd. Yes, that's Kareem Abu Zayd. No, I am not affiliated with his masjid. So that's another thing I want to talk about too. Let me put that banner up. A lot of y'all think I'm a part of Kareem Abu Zayd's mosque, Islamic community. No, hold on. Please support us. This is a website. We are a separate entity, Sunnahfollowers Online. We've been around since 1986. We are a nonprofit organization. We are officially an online Islamic university free of charge. Yes, we are. And that's our EIN number. I put it there so y'all can see. Yes, we are a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit organization, Sunnahfollowers Online. That's our EIN number, 562322421. And we desperately need donations. In fact, I'm going to tell y'all right now, we are $200 overdrawn again. I knew it. I told y'all we had 3 bills that I needed $500 for the website. We needed $500 for those last 3 bills. Well, the dial pad went out, but hey, please, guys, donate. We are a nonprofit. For those of you living here in America, you can write us off as a tax. We're tax exempt. You can, at the end of the year, December's a couple of months away. Tax write-off for donations. Okay, please support us, guys. I need your donations today because it's the first of the month coming up in a week. And we have to start all over again. How much does it cost, Sister Amy? It costs $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month to run this website. Really? Brother Mike said, and that's not much money. Yeah, it's not much money, Brother Mike, but for us it is because our website is ran by women. It's me. This is not a part of a Kareem's mosque, you know. I'm not a part of Jamali's mosque. I'm not a part of a Sheikh Saud's mosque or Sheikh Atli's mosque. We are a separate entity. I don't get no money for selling these books. Oh, no, I don't get no kickback for promoting these books. I promote these books because they're the best. As a daya, I've been teaching dawah for over 50 years. I've never come upon a series of Aqidah books in English that are better than these. Kareem Abu-Zayd doesn't pay me to promote his stuff. I don't get no handouts. The website gets no donations from the mosque, from those mosques. So yeah, it's just me and a bunch of old sisters trying to keep this website going. And a bunch of college students, my little girls, my Bantus from Somalia. So please, guys, support us. We need your donations today. We needed them yesterday. And I'm talking about we need some real donations. I mean, I know we all pay what we can, $10, $15. I'm talking about, what did I say in that thing? We needed $500 for the rest of this month's expenses. We needed $500. Oh, God, please support us, because I don't know what we're going to do. We're in the hole, and if we don't get, y'all don't see, if I don't log in next week, y'all know why the stream wasn't paid. Couldn't keep it going. So please support us. And that's how you can donate. You can support this Dawah effort by going to PayPal. You can also support us through Zelle and also through Cash App. That's the ticker. So keep your eye on the ticker. It tells you how to donate, inshallah. Okay, so with that said, let's put the PowerPoint up. Yes, and get the book. That's the name of the book, Brother Mike. Yeah, Know Your Lord. It's on Amazon, Sheikh Kareem Abu-Zayd, and this is how it looks. They have a children's version out too. I strongly recommend that you buy the children's version too for the kids so they can follow along with their book, because I got the kids participating in here too. All right, so let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Yeah, may Allah bless you, Brother Mike. All right, here we go. Let's try to share. Can y'all see my screen? Oh, okay, let me fix this. I'll make it better. Bigger, rather. Bigger. And, okay. All right, everybody. Let me move the Zoom thing around so I can get to the screen. Slideshow from the beginning. There it is. Okay, today we're going to speak about those deviant groups, the groups that have a deviant view on faith and Islam. But before we get to that, I want to do what I promised. I promised you guys that I would give you a quiz on those 3 obstacles. And who can tell us, remind us, what are the 3 obstacles that stand in the way of our belief and practice? What are the 3 obstacles that stand in the way of our faith and our practice of this religion?
Doubt, delusion, and conjecture.
Exactly. The 3 obstacles that we're constantly faced with as Muslims is doubt, conjecture, and delusion. So I want you guys to take a look at this scenario for today. Felicia wears a turban when she leaves the house, and she wears a pair of pants and a top. She was told, because of the times we are facing here in America, it's best to not be Islamic in her dress. So to hide, basically. She's told to basically not go out the house dressed like a Muslim because it'll bring attention to her. And by the way, my chapstick. This is based on a true story. One of the new shahadas from Reddit brought this position to me. She was told that because of the times we live in, it's best to not dress Islamic, to just put a turban on, wear a pair of pants and a top. Is this an example of doubt? Is this an example of delusion? Or is this an example of conjecture? What do you guys think?
I would say conjecture, because she got misinformation or not adequate information about it.
What do the rest of y'all think? Okay, the people on Facebook are typing conjecture too. Good job. Okay, I see y'all's answer on Facebook. Yeah, I see it. What do the rest of you guys think? Anybody with a different answer? And remember, it can be all 3, but which one stands out the most? Which stands out the most? Doubt, delusion, or conjecture? Good job. Everybody got it right. Conjecture. Yes, because she doesn't have the correct information. Good job, Brother Terry. By the way, I have some of my new shahadas. You brothers ask, are there brothers that listen to me? Yes, this is one. I put his answer on the screen. I got Brother Tarek here. I also got Brother Tajri too. Okay, but as Brother Tarek wrote right here, it's conjecture because she doesn't have the correct knowledge or information. Good job, Tajri. Conjecture. Yes, we can say she's deluded too, but her delusion is a result of not having the correct information. That's why we have to be so careful as Muslims today, especially living in America today with all the fitna that's going on here, how Allah is testing us, and punishing us too. For some of us, it's a test. For some of us, what's happening here in America today is a test, but for many of us, it's a punishment. We have to learn this religion. Remember, seeking knowledge of this religion is an obligation upon all of us. Individually, you have to get up off your rocker. You can't blame it on your parents for not teaching you. You can't blame it on your husband. You have to seek the proper knowledge on your own. You got a phone, log in on that phone and join my classes every day. Allah is going to ask you, why didn't you come and learn from Sister Layla? You got a telephone. Layla's streaming on all these platforms. I'm streaming live on Facebook. I'm streaming live simultaneously on YouTube, Facebook, X, which was formerly Twitter, LinkedIn, Rumble. I'm on Rumble. I'm on right now. Look at this. I'm on Telegram. I'm on Instagram. Same days, every day, the same time. Allah is going to ask you, why didn't you log in and learn your religion? Felicia should know. Felicia should know that the world is a fitan. We're going to always be faced with trials and calamities. That's no excuse to take off your clothes and be naked. The female companions were present for every battle. They didn't take off their clothes and get naked and blend in with the other Kafir women. That's not how we do things. No. Okay, what about this scenario, guys? Amal lives alone. Every time, and by the way, this is also one of the new shahadas from Reddit that asked me this question. Amal lives alone. Every time she enters her home, she yells out, Assalamu alaikum to the angels. This is what she was taught to do ever since she was a kid. So whenever she enters the house, she says, Assalamu alaikum. Is this doubt? Is this delusion? Is this conjecture? Which stands out the most?
Conjecture.
MashaAllah, good job. Everybody got that right. This is conjecture. Does another one apply here too? Can we say that another one applies here too? What other one? Conjecture stands out the most. And what else is she suffering from? Go ahead.
Delusion.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody said doubt. Who said doubt?
Umibara.
Okay, why would you say doubt?
Because she knows the truth already, but she's doubting what she knows already.
If she knew, would it be conjecture? No, doubt means to question what you know to be true. Remember, doubt is to question what you know for a fact to be true. She doesn't know. Listen to the question. She was taught that when you enter the home, you yell out, Assalamu alaikum. So that takes us. What we do first is ask ourselves, is this correct? Is that what Allah told us to do when we enter our houses?
No, she was misinformed, like the information.
Okay, so that's the first one. That's the first one. Conjecture. Okay, and then the question is, what else, which of the other apply and why? For conjecture, because she doesn't have the information, and because she doesn't know what Allah says about entering the home with the salams. This is also making her what? Because she what? Who said delusion? Why is she deluded? Why would you say delusion?
Because she's believing something that's not true or not so.
Exactly. What does delusion mean? Delusion means to believe something is possible that is not possible. To believe something is true that's not true. She actually believes that when she comes in a house, she got to salam angels. First of all, how does she even know angels is in her house? Okay, she believes that. And this is an example, guys. Conjecture oftentimes leads to delusion. Conjecture oftentimes leads to doubt too. But you got to recognize, and that's what I'm trying to train y'all to do, is to recognize the difference between delusion and doubt. Doubt is when you question something that you know to be true. Say, for example, I know that this is a misinterpretation of a hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever you enter the home, give salams to the people who are there so that you don't catch them off guard. That's the hadith. So I know that the Prophet said, if I come home and my mother is here, I'm going to let her know. I'm going to say, Salam alaikum, I'm home. The Prophet Muhammad said, announce yourself. In another hadith, I know that the Prophet said, announce yourself to the people who are in the home so as to not catch them off guard because they could harm you. Y'all see? I know this, but even though I know that the Prophet said that, I still, got some questions about this. Well, if I can give, I have to give salams to the people that's there, then maybe there's some angels hanging around. Shouldn't I salam some angels? That's doubt. Now, do you see, Beryl, the difference?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, doubt is to question something that you know to be truthful, but you still can't get out your mind what you want to believe. Y'all understand that? I hope ain't none of y'all coming into your home saying assalamu alaikum if you live alone. The hadith is say Bismillah before you enter the house. Because if you say Bismillah before you enter the house, if any of the evil shayateen were following you home, it would prevent them from entering. So you say Bismillah if I live by myself, which I do. Before I enter my house, I always say Bismillah. Do I come in screaming salam? If anybody were to answer me, I'm running the heck out of there. Shouldn't be nobody in here to answer me. Y'all get it? Common sense. Islam is common sense. All right. So this is an example of conjecture and delusion. Conjecture and delusion. Wait a minute. Here's a question right here. Can you pray with mirrors in your home? There's nothing in Islam that says you cannot pray with mirrors in your home. But can you pray standing in front of a mirror? It's best not to. Why? Because then it will appear as if you're praying to yourself. But in regards to the question, just because I have mirrors in my house, I can't pray in my house. No, there's nothing in Islam that says that. But don't stand in front of the mirror, because if you were standing in front of the mirror, you would be praying to yourself. Okay. All right. Okay. So any questions about conjecture, delusion, and doubt? I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to throw a couple of questions up like that every day. Every day. Yeah.
So Layla,
Huh?
I don't know whether the question will be related, but what if, for example, you are given an information like a knowledge, but you believe the other person more than the other one because they gave you more proof, even though, like, for example, the question that you just mentioned, like when it comes to entering the house and saying salam to the angel, I don't do that, but I'm asking because you gave the question. If, like, for example, I learned that from you, and then somebody else gave me the knowledge, but added more proof that is more convincing to the one that was given previously. Where do that fit in? Like,
this is
that
real
doubting?
easy. The lawful and the unlawful is clear. Is that person giving you a verse? Is there any verse in the Quran that says give salams when you enter the house? Is there any hadith where the prophet says salam to angels? This is not a matter of different of fatwa. You know, when we say that we have to do something, that, you know, we have to bring evidence from Allah and the prophet. So a person can give you a bunch of fatwas from Imam Shafi, Imam Malik, Imam, Sheikh Kamadam. But did Allah say, salam the angels when you enter the house? Did the prophet say, salam the angels? And that's what we're going to talk about today. This is why Islam is messed up. Because we listen to people give us a bunch of fatwas from everybody but Allah and the Prophet. Nobody can make something an obligation except Allah. No one can make something lawful. So if somebody tells you, whenever you enter the house, you have to give salams to the angels. And by the way, this is a Sufi thought. The Sufis are the ones that say that. That's how you can always recognize a Sufi. That's one of the questions that when me and Sheikh Morsi used to interview people, when we first started this website back in the 80s, he would say, Sister Layla, you want to know how to tell they're a Sufi? Ask them about the hadith, about greeting and when you enter the home. I said, well, he said salam the angels. Ask them where's the dalil. They could never give dalil. He's a Sufi. That's Sufis. They worship the angels and they into that mysticism. That's one of the questions we used to ask. So if anybody tells you, and this was for all the new shahadas, because I've been teaching this for so long. If anybody tells you that when you enter the house, you're supposed to give salams to the angels, tell them, can they please give you the authentic hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said, whenever you enter the house, give salams to the angels? Or can they give you the authentic verse of the Quran where Allah says, when you enter your houses, salam the angels? And they'll spend their entire life trying to find a hadith or a verse. There's no such thing. But I just gave y'all the real hadiths. What's the source? Bukhari and Muslim, where the Prophet says, greet the people in the homes. He's clear. He says, greet the people in the home when you enter it, so as to not catch them off guard. That's clear. That's Bukhari. That's Muslim. So that's how we handle that. Because as we're going to talk about today, the deviants, they have a lot of garbage that they use as evidence. But is it based on the Quran or the Prophet, or is it based on Imam, Sheikh, and all of that? The intelligent Muslim will tell you, take your papers and shove them. Either bring me the nas, the clear nas. That's why for the new shahadas, I want y'all to listen to me. You cannot learn this religion from 2, 3, 4 different people, because they're going to mess you up. You're going to be messed up, confused. You're human beings. Everybody doesn't teach the same. Everybody doesn't have the same knowledge. And nowadays, people come from different aqidah backgrounds. Just because a person says that they're upon the Quran and Sunnah doesn't mean that they are. If they're talking about Imam and Sheikh and Ibn Taymiyyah and all of that, I'm sorry. That's a sign. Because they're not basing nothing on Quran and Sunnah. So for the new shahadas, you got to find one teacher. Stick with that one teacher. Hold on to that teacher till they die. That's what the prophet said. That's another hadith. What's the source? Bukhari and Muslim can't get no better than that. I give y'all the highest. Maqasid. My teachings are maqasid, the higher aim. That's why I'm always quoting Bukhari and Muslim. So the deviants can't come back and shoot me down. Okay? Get one teacher. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, learn from the people of knowledge and clean when you find a person. He says this, when you find a person that bases everything they say on what I say and what Allah says, and you find a person that has the understanding that you have, he's talking to his companions, that you have, cling to them. Don't let them go, because knowledge disappears with the death of the true scholars. The true scholars are few. And that's the class that Sheikh Saud is teaching y'all. Scholars come a dime a dozen. A scholar is a term of endearment. Anybody who knows more than you is considered a scholar. It's a term of endearment. But real scholars of the ulama are rare. They're few. They dying every day. When you come upon a person who is a student of a real scholar, how can you tell that's a student of a real scholar? Like Sheikh Saud said, the students of real scholars, they do like the scholars and back everything they say up. Not with fatwas, not with the four imams, not with a mathab, with clear verses from the Quran and the hadith that only a fool would try to refute. Y'all see that? So that's why the prophet said, and when those people die, all that knowledge goes with them. And who replaces them? They're replaced with the Ruwaybidah. And who are the Ruwaybidah? These are the men and women that y'all see today that y'all listen to. I look at a lot of y'all Facebook pages. A lot of you are following the people I'm getting ready to talk about today. Them people on y'all Facebook pages are so full of crap. Bunch of Mu'tazila Sufis, it's ridiculous. And y'all praise these people. Y'all love these people. They leading y'all totally against me. I teach the true Islam based on Quran and Sunnah, but y'all listening to a bunch of innovators who don't even believe that faith and action go together. I'm going to show y'all today. They don't believe that action is a sign of your faith. Oh, they question the basics. So for the new shahadas, if you want to really grow in your knowledge and your understanding of this deen, you got to let go of them other people y'all listening to, or you're going to be confused, like the sister was asking in this question. Because we're the Ruwaybidah. Like the prophet said, they know all about science. They know all about politics. They got all the statements of who they claim to be scholars and who they claim to be imams, but they don't know nothing about the hadiths. So if y'all don't want to end up like that, for you new shahadas, you got to let go of them other YouTube channels. You got to let go of them other people. You got to let them go and just stick right here to Sunnahfollowers. Because the people that are with me are teaching like me, because we're upon the same minhaj. Y'all understand that? You can listen to me and listen to Dr. Jamali and listen to Dr. Ali and listen to Sheikh Saud and not get confused and mixed up. Not when it comes to Aqidah issues, because we ain't into that Murjiah stuff. We're not into that Ashari crap, which we're going to talk about today. Y'all got it? A lot of people that claim to be Quran and Sunnah are Ashari, guys. A lot of these brothers y'all got on y'all Facebook pages who do talk a good game, and they are Ashari. And I'm going to break it down and you're going to recognize it. If you got any intelligence about this deen, you'll see it. But for my new shahadas, let them go. Brother Ahmed, you hang out with Shiites. You got to let them Shiites go on YouTube. Stop listening to them. That's why you're twisted. Asking me about Adam and Eve, where Adam and Eve is. What kind of stuff is that? Let that Shiites go. All right. Get to the class today. Okay. All right, brothers. Y'all ready for it? And by the way, this is for you brothers who are asking me about these groups, and also myself, because I don't deal with this stuff. I mean, I teach Quran and Sunnah. I've been giving dawah for 50 years, and I've never, ever dealt with these sets and groups, but they all are here. So this is, I had to, when I first taught this class 2 years ago, I had to have one of my brothers break down who these groups are, because I never heard of them, because I'm sheltered. I live a sheltered life, protected from these people. But anyway, I'm getting ready to go over them now. Here we go. Let me make this smaller too. I want you brothers to screenshot, and I want to, when y'all screenshot, I don't want y'all sitting up looking at Layla Nashiba's picture. So hold on. Let me make this bigger. There y'all go. Can y'all see that? And less me and more there. So we talked yesterday about how there are two major groups that emerged, both of them during the time of the companions. Okay, the Mu'tazilite, who were the extreme right, and the Kharijites, the extreme left, or whatever. And those two groups, from those two groups emerged many, many others, and all of them are in existence today. And like I said, many of the people y'all listen to belong to these groups I'm getting ready to talk about. We have to understand that in order to be a true believer, you have to have your belief system right on point with those original companions. Okay? We have a group today that I'm going to speak about, that many of the famous speakers, the celebrities that you guys watch on YouTube, the celebrity brothers that y'all listen to from Europe and Australia, many of them fall in these groups. They believe that your actions are not a part of your iman or part of your faith. For you Muslims here in America, y'all listen to a lot of famous personalities from out of Texas and other places. They believe this too. Many of the people y'all listen to believe that your actions are not a part of your faith. That's why they believe it's okay to boycott with the LGBTQ. To protest. You know how they do that? That's why these people y'all have on y'all Facebook pages who y'all love, these celebrities, Muslim celebrities here in America. Here they are walking and holding hands with the LGBTQ. They believe that what they do, that your actions have nothing to do with your iman. I can believe in Allah and be strong in my faith and still, do stupid stuff like that. Okay? And they also, let me put it, I got the wrong mouse. Got two computers here. And even though the names of these sets are unknown to many of us, and like I said, I don't want y'all to try to memorize these names. I want y'all to look at what they believe in. This is not for y'all to go around saying this brother is this sister is that, this person is this. I just want y'all to be aware of these different beliefs that they have, and all of their beliefs contradict true Islam. So like the sister asked me, a person comes to you and gives you more papers talking about how you can salam angels in your house. Okay, just because they got a bunch of papers, unless that paper said Allah said salam the angels in your home, or the prophet said salam, and it has to be clear. It has to use those words. Salam the angels in your home. This is the religion we talking about. The words have to be clear. Maqasid. It has to be clear. Give salams to the angels in your home. Unless a verse says that, you don't accept it. Well, the same with this. How can you say that you believe in Allah, but my behavior and actions are not contingent upon that? The sins I commit are not contingent upon that. Because I believe in Allah, if I choose to support LGBTQ and hold hands with women and pray with next to a woman and let a woman be my iman, it has no effect on my faith. We're going to go over these groups. Okay. And these people fall in the group. I hear this Zoom thing is in the way as usual, man. I wish I could move this Zoom. They're called the Murjiah. The Murjiah. When you hear these brothers in the overseas bashing each other, you might have heard that term. You will hear those brothers, the brothers that like to debate. They like to debate with the kafir, and they like to debate with each other. You will hear them say, oh, he's Murjiah, he's Murjiah, he's Murjiah, he's Murjiah. That's the term. Who are these people? Well, these are people that appeared at the end of the 1st century after the migration in Kufa. Kufa's in Iraq. And I want to remind you guys, remember the Prophet. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, every fitan that befalls this nation that will impact this entire nation will always begin in the east. And that's Iraq, Afghanistan, Jerusalem, that part of the world, the Gulf as we call it today. All the calamities that will befall us as a nation will come from that part of the world, where Saudi Arabia, the Gulf. Well, this was one of the first big calamities to impact us as a nation, the Murjiah. And they appeared at the end of the century after the migration in Iraq. This group is guilty of severe religious innovations. Remember, I told you guys, the Persians. What did the prophet say before he died, when he was sitting in the courtyard of the mosque with the companions? And one of the companions asked him, that he said, oh, prophet of Allah, we're doing so good. We're so strong in our faith spiritually. Will we stay this way? And the prophet got quiet. And then he said, you will be replaced. You will be replaced. You will be replaced. And they said, we. He said, you, my companions, you, my companions, will be replaced. And then he pointed at Salman al-Farsi. He said, you will be replaced by his people. Either they will replace you in good, or the people will follow them in what is not good. That hadith is authentic. That's Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. Okay. So, when the Umar, radiallahu anha, he was the one that conquered the Persian Empire. The Persian Empire was destroyed and conquered by Umar during his caliphate, radiallahu anha. Okay? Then after his death, Okay, this is when all the fitna began after the death of Umar. During the caliphate of Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, all this fitan, which ended up leading to the murder of Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him. Well, these group of people, they came from out of Persia and they brought the worst innovations to this religion. And a lot of the scholars believe that the term, the Murjiah, is because of the first innovation they brought. And the first innovation they brought affects the definition of faith. They are the ones who exclude the acts of worship from the reality of Iman or faith. Their intention was to make the religion representative of a whole body in the face of extreme partisan infighting. This is when all the infighting began. But their belief system, it lacked basis. And secondly, they diluted the concept of faith to the point that it was meaningless. In other words, these people, the people of Kufa, they were the ones that played a big role in the murder of Uthman. May Allah be pleased with him. I did the story of Uthman to you guys. They were the ones that Aisha, radiallahu anha, led a battle against. And she did go to Kufa to seek vengeance for the murder of Uthman. Aisha led an army of over 30,000 men, and she put to death over 30,000 men from Kufa who played a role in the murder of Uthman. Oh yeah, that was Aisha radiallahu anha. Just like yours truly. Hello! So these people were horrible. They were the ones that first distorted the true meaning of belief. Their belief system deviated, and they claimed that all acts of worship are a result of faith, but are not a component of it. They also claim that faith does not increase nor decrease. They murdered Uthman. May Allah be pleased with him. This had no rearing on their iman. Okay? Acts of worship. I pray because I believe in Allah, but praying is not an element of my belief. I give in charity because I believe in Allah, but giving in charity is not a component of faith. This is their belief. And they have branched off into different groups. The Murjiah. They emerged from out of Kufa, and now they branched off into different sects. And we're going to talk about them. And these sects are still prominent today. One sect. How many of you have heard of the Al-Jamia? The Al-Jamia. This is a sect of the Murjiah. They define faith as simply acknowledging Allah in your heart, while disbelief is the state of being ignorant about him. These are the Muslims you know here in America that tell you my faith is in my heart. These are the Muslims you know from the Middle East. You look at those Muslim brothers, the Arabs, they come to America, they smoke, they don't wear beard, they don't pray, and they tell you, oh, I don't have to pray. My iman is in my heart. They believe that the statement of the tongue and submission to the heart and love of Allah and the Prophet are not part of iman. Y'all see that? A lot of people belong to this group. There was a famous woman who was very popular here in America in the 90s and the early 2000s. Why was she popular? Because she was a Caucasian woman and she converted to Islam. They loved her. Oh my God. They loved her because she was a Caucasian and she converted to Islam. This woman spent the rest of her life. She died of cancer. May Allah forgive her of her sins and make her grave spacious. Ameen. But she spent her life after converting. She would travel around America, giving lectures at the mosques. She was also lecturing with CARE and all those other organizations. What's that? These the MSAs and you know, they always had her as a guest speaker. I was invited to a conference because I was married at the time to the old man. Oh yeah, I was married to the old man. They invited the old man to lecture at a conference, and they asked him to bring me as his wife to lecture to the women. And she was there lecturing as well. She lectured to the men and the women, okay? Old man wasn't having Layla lecture to nobody but the women. The women didn't come to hear me, though. They put us at the same time, which I thought was crazy. They put her lecture and my lecture at the same time. So you know nobody came to hear Layla Nashiba, but they all went to her because she was popular, famous. And I remember in her lecture, she was supposed to talk about love of Allah and the prayer, the importance of salat. And I remember she made the statement. She said, prayer is not an obligation. She said, do you guys hear me? She said, we're not obligated to pray. It's a choice we make. I'll never forget that. I was sitting in that room by myself because nobody came to hear me. The women didn't, but all the women and men were listening to her. And she was talking about how prayer is not an obligation. We do it out of love. And I'm like, what is she talking about? And I'll never forget. That's when the old man, he told me, he said, El Murjiah. There's a lot of these El Murjiah groups out here. He said, you need to let the sheikh know, because the sheikh that invited us to his mosque didn't know that she was saying. So I sent the sheikh, I recorded her, and I always had my laptop. I recorded what she said, and I sent a copy of it to him, and I said, Sheikh, nobody came to listen to Layla because I'm so Salafi crazy, but they listened to this Murjiah. So a lot of Muslims here in America, and she's part of these, was with these groups that y'all listen to today, okay? A lot of them are of this belief. They believe that La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, you say that you Muslim, the faith is in your heart. It's in your heart, but submission, whether you're going to submit to Allah, whether you're going to do the obligations Allah imposed upon us, that has nothing to do with faith. It's all about dying with belief in Allah in your heart. And if you believe in Allah, you'll get to paradise. She was part of this. These people, according to this definition, guys, Abu Talib, Shaitan, and Pharaoh are believers because they believed in Allah. This philosophy, anybody that believes in Allah is a believer. Whether you pray, whether you give in charity, whether you do good, has nothing to do with it. Long as you got an ounce of belief in God, you're going to paradise. That's the El Jamia. And for you sisters, a lot of those women that y'all have on y'all Facebook groups that y'all listen to, especially the ones that look like nuns, This is what they are. El Jamia. Because they're with her. She was with them. Okay. Another group. El Karamia. The El Karamia. They're another group of the El Murjiah. Okay. They say that faith is the spoken words. It's just the words. But we don't have to acknowledge it in our heart. They're the opposite. The El Karamia are the opposite of the El Jamia. According to them, a hypocrite who makes the Shahada with their tongue is a believer. So they're saying it doesn't matter what you have in your heart. As long as you say with your tongue, La ilaha illallah, you a believer. Isn't that crazy? We have a lot of them in America too. I personally haven't met any, but I know a lot of El Jamia. A lot of these people that y'all got, the women that y'all have on y'all Facebook pages, are El Jamia. You got some famous African American sisters here. El Jamia. Okay. Here's another group. This is the group that's become very popular lately. And it's popular because you guys hear the brothers arguing and debating about it. The Ashariya. The El Ashariya. They lived during the time of Imam Ahmed. He was the leader of those who practiced the European dialects and rhetoric and rhetorical stuff. Not Imam Ahmed, but these people, the person that began this group from out of Europe. That's why y'all hear a lot of these brothers, a lot of these famous celebrity brothers from out of the United Kingdom are Ashariya. A lot of these famous brothers that y'all listen to from out of Australia and out of the United Kingdom are of this belief, Ashariya. And that's why they attack my website all the time. Okay. These people, let me go into their belief. These people, their leader was Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari. He went through different religious phases. When he was young, he studied the Mu'tazilite theology. And again, this is coming out of Persia. Like the prophet said, they will replace you. Okay? Instead of following the Sunnah of the companions, the people began to follow these men that came from out of Persia, Ibn Sina and others. Okay? This man, he studied the Mu'tazilite theology with his stepfather. And then he repented. What did they believe? They believed that the Quran is the creation of Allah. How many of you know people in Texas? We got some famous speakers out of Texas who will tell y'all that the Quran is not the words of Allah. It's the creation. We got some brothers on the East Coast too. Oh, yeah. We got some brothers on the East Coast here in America that will tell you that the Quran is the creation of Allah. Ashariya. They'll tell you that they follow the Sunnah. They believe in the Quran and Sunnah. Some people even think that they Salafi. But these people do not believe that the Quran is the words of Allah. They believe it's the creation of Allah. Well, their leader here, he ended up repenting before he died. In fact, he wrote, "We have now argued for the validity of our belief that the Quran is uncreated. We have not found any scholar who ranks as an authority believing that the Quran is." So here you can see that he openly renounced his belief that the Quran is a creation of Allah. He openly renounced it. And he also said, the belief we hold and the religion we follow are holding fast to the book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet and the traditions of the companions and their successors and the Imams of the Hadith. Talking about Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Tirmidhi and them. That we hold firmly professing what Abu Abdullah Ahmed ibn Muhammad ibn Hanbal, Imam Hanbal professed. So you can see that he ended up recanting his belief that the Quran is the creation before he died. But even though he did that, the schools of thoughts that are emerged after him that exist to this day still hold that belief. For you sisters living on the East Coast, a lot of you sisters in Philadelphia, a lot of you sisters in New Jersey, a lot of you sisters in like here where I am, in Ohio, and from Cleveland, from New York. There's a lot of famous speakers in those areas that belong to this El-Ash'ari belief. Okay? They believe that faith is simply to say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, and that faith does not go up and down, that it doesn't increase, nor does it decrease from our actions. That's why a lot of you sisters will come to me from the East Coast talking about what those imams do in those offices. Now, does it make sense why they do what they do? They don't believe that their sins have any effect on their faith. They don't believe that faith disappears when a person's committing a sin. There's also a famous brother who had put out a fatwa 2 years ago saying that you can smoke marijuana. He's one of those famous speakers too. Now do y'all see where he is? A lot of you say, oh, he's Salafi. Oh, really? El-Ash'ariya, the Ash'aris. They believe that faith does not go up or down. It's simply saying you believe in Allah. Your actions have nothing to do with that. Y'all see that? So that's why a lot of you sisters who end up in those masjids, the imams do what they do. The brothers do what they do. How is it that these brothers can be oppressive towards you as a woman? They think all they got to do is say they believe in Allah. Their actions have nothing to do. They don't work. Those brothers that don't work, that don't do their job, they don't provide, they don't maintain, that ain't got nothing to do with their iman. Their iman is not based, this is what they believe, on whether they fulfill their obligations to Allah. These are Murjiah. We have a lot of them here in America. East Coast, West Coast, the Jahmiyyah in the South, they're all over. And here's another one. This is the most popular one. The Murjiah El-Fuqaha of the Hanifa. Y'all hear this group a lot. They adopt the definition that faith is exclusive of actions too, that your actions ain't got nothing to do with your iman. They also claim that your iman does not go up or down. It doesn't increase or decrease. That is simply just saying it with the tongue like the other ones. And of all the different classes of this deviant sect, more of them are this type in America. We have more of the Hanafiya type. The Hanafiya, these are called the El-Murjiah Hanafiya. This is the kind that Dr. Jamali is always speaking about. These are the brothers that's telling you sisters that they ain't going to be married to you over the age of 40. These are the ones that do that type of stuff, guys. Why do they do the acts they do? Why do they marry women and divorce them like that? Because they don't believe that their actions have anything to do with their iman. Okay? Even though they claim to be Hanafi, they will tell you that they're Hanafi, but they're not, because Their interpretation of faith is not what the four imams had, okay? Their interpretation of belief is nothing like the imams, okay? But they call themselves the Hanafiya. The Hanafiya. Okay? And then the last group of them is the El-Maturidiya. They also say, now they're a little different. They say that faith is the affirmation of the heart only and not the tongue. As long as you believe it in your heart, you good to go. We got some of them here in America, the South, Texas. You can't judge me. Those women that tell you, Sister Layla, you can't judge me. It's in my heart. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you, you asked me a question. You asked me, can you wear a locket of your mother's dead ashes around your neck? And I told you the answer, no, you can't. You can't judge me. It's in my heart. A lot of them too. They believe in knowing our Lord based on reason as precedents before what Allah says about him in the Quran. Okay? I had to deal with a lot of them on this website. They also view that Islam and faith is the same. I can wear my mother's locket with her dead ashes in it. I'm still a Muslim and my faith is still strong. A lot of them in Texas that I had to encounter. Okay, so those are the different sets of the Murjiah. And like I said, they're here in America big time. Those people that tell you if they're Hanafiya, those Muslims that call themselves Hanafiya, this is their group. They don't believe that faith goes up and down. They don't believe that our actions impact our belief system. That's why they abuse this religion. That's why they smoke the weed. That's why they fornicate. That's why they adulterate. That's why they beat their wives up. That's why they do what they do, because they don't think that they got the answer for that. That's why they don't pray, some of them. Like that sister said in that lecture to all those Muslims that were listening to her. She said, prayer is not an obligation. It's a choice. You choose to pray. You choose to give in charity. Just like the women that y'all listening to, that y'all think are all that in a bag of chips, all of them are Mutazila, and they all will say the same thing if you listen closely. It's all about what's in your heart. It's all about what's in your heart. Just long as you believe in Allah in your heart, you'll be of the saved people. As long as you keep your belief firm in your heart, listen to how they talk. It's all about the heart. It's all about the heart. Only Allah can judge you. That's America. These famous women that y'all sending me stupid videos of, that I keep telling y'all, don't send me no videos of these crazy women. These women are crazy. All right? Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I need some clarification. The deviant group that claims that acts of worship are a result of faith, but not an element of it. An example of this is that story you gave us about the woman who said, we don't have to pray.
Yeah, now I don't want y'all to go around memorizing. You don't have to memorize these different groups, because if you like me, you know, they all of them are away from the Sunnah. I just want y'all to be able to recognize that they're all around you. I want y'all to listen to these people. When y'all listening to these people talk about Islam, listen to what they say. They're telling you that it's all about your heart. It's all about what's in your heart, that no one can judge you. It's all about keeping your barrier in your heart. These are the this group. That's all y'all need to know. They do not believe that faith increases, nor do they believe faith decreases. They do not believe that your belief is contingent on your actions. They do not believe that whether you fulfill the obligations of a law or not impede on your action. That's all y'all have to know about these people.
Okay, thank you.
Y'all see what I'm saying? And it's more than this. There's about 20 other groups of them too. But this is basically the three that's more out there. The Asharis, yeah, you brothers here, the brothers say they recognize them. Yeah, those are the Asharis. Now y'all see. Now y'all see. Yes. Just because people claim to believe in the Quran and Sunnah doesn't mean nothing, because faith is not the tongue. It's not the tongue. The East Coast brothers that's over there into that stuff, they think just because they say that they following the Quran and Sunnah that they are. Oh, no, they not. Look at no, they don't believe in their actions. They don't believe that what they do to you sisters in those offices have anything to do with their faith. That's why they do what they do to y'all over there. Yeah, it makes sense. The sister here said it makes sense. That's why they're doing what they're doing to y'all. Because they don't think their actions have anything to do with their faith. That's why they ain't providing and maintaining their families either. Making babies, kicking you to the curb. They don't think that has nothing to do with their iman. And they'll sit there, do a khutbah, get on TV, and brag about how they're a famous personality. Now y'all see. Yeah. Any other questions? But this is the Murjiah. The Murjiah do not believe that your faith is contingent on your actions, basically. They don't believe that faith increases, nor do they believe it decreases. They believe that it's separate from other actions. It's all about having a belief in Allah in your heart. That's it. That's all you need to know about this group, basically. So don't send me no more videos of that African-American sister y'all love so much. Because y'all listen to her, that's all she talk about. The heart, the heart, the heart. Exactly, mystic Sufis. Like the brother typed here. These are mystic Sufis. Yes. Exactly, brother Zuhair. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? I need to make salat. Okay, the next class we have tonight is at 9:30. It's what class I got? How to pray. I'll be doing the prayer. So I'm gonna log out. I'll be back at 9:30. Let me make my grip. Okay, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.